The I10 installation by Tire Minder. One of the easiest installations on the market. Let's step through it and get started. When you're getting ready to start your I10 installation, there's a few things you're going to need to do before you get started. First, on all the tires that you'll be installing the system on, ensure that you have a quality tire pressure gauge and go air up your tires at a cold level to ensure your tires are pressurized correctly prior to installation. To check the tire pressure before installation of any TPMS system, ensure you have a quality tire gauge to check all of your tires to ensure they're up to the correct pressure. I'll be using the Tire Minder digital tire pressure gauge. This is one of the best tire pressure gauges on the market that you can use in preparation for your install. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to do an unboxing, and the first step, reading the manual to make sure that you understand everything within the box. Inside the I10 kit, you'll find the sensors, batteries, your manual, the display, charging cord, and 12-volt adapter, the booster along with the zip ties to connect it, and a warranty card that will need to be filled out in completion and sent back to Tire Minder in Stuart, Florida. This warranty card not only gives you your full warranty, but it also gets you all set up for their free battery program, where once a year you can go online or call Tire Minder direct, and for a small shipping and handling fee, they'll send you free batteries for all of your sensors until 2022. The next step we're going to do is we're going to pull out all the batteries, and we're going to put all the batteries inside the sensor. We will remove each of the sensors and simply remove the cap so we can insert the battery into the sensor. To insert the battery into the sensor, simply remove the black cap, holding the sensor in this position and the battery with the words facing you or the plus side up. Insert the battery from the top side down. This inserts the battery into the sensor, and then replace the black cap, ensuring that the O-ring is in its place, and tighten it till you feel the O-ring and a quarter turn. Once the batteries are inside all the sensors, set them aside, and now move around to the tires and remove the tire caps so that your valve stems are now bare and ready for installation of the sensors and the locking nuts. We're going to go ahead and take 4 of our locking nuts that came within the kit. We're going to walk around to each tire and thread the locking nut all the way on to the tire valve stem. Now we're going to go ahead and turn the monitor on and begin the process of installing the sensors on the tires and programming them to the monitor. As we first turn the I10 on, it'll open to the screen with no sensors programmed, and it will be in the monitoring mode indicated by the letter M at the lower portion of the screen. To begin to program sensors, we're going to need to put it into the Learn mode. This is done by pressing the 2 outside buttons at the top of the monitor together at the same time, holding them down for about 5 seconds. Once this is done, you'll notice the letter M has turned to a letter L in the center of the screen showing learning, and that we now have blank areas where we can install or program sensors. For this demonstration, we're going to go ahead and start to program the first sensor as a front left tire. And to do this, simply stand by the front left tire of your coach with your monitor in your hand in program mode, with the upper left hand 2 blank lines flashing. Simply thread the sensor now onto the valve stem. You'll hear a little bit of an air sound, and then your monitor will beep and display the current air pressure in the tire. We'll go ahead and move on to the right front tire now by moving our cursor over to the right upper set of dashes. We'll use our arrow to make those flash. Then next to the tire again, go ahead and thread the sensor onto the right front tire, and we'll see the pressure illuminated on the display and a beep. We'll go ahead and move the cursor again now, touching the right arrow at the top of the monitor. We're going to move it down to the left side rear tires. You'll see it flashing. We're going to go ahead and set up the sensors for a set of dualies on the rear now. For the left side outside tire, simply thread on the sensor. And again, you'll hear a beep and the pressure will pop up. And we'll go ahead and move right to the inside left side tire and do the inside the very same way. We'll move on to the right inside and outside rear tire by following the same procedures. Once we have all 6 sensors programmed, we'll now remove ourselves from the learning mode and go back to the home screen or monitoring mode. To do this, we'll hold down at the same time the 2 outside arrow buttons for 5 seconds, and the L will turn back to a letter M at the bottom of the screen, showing you're now in the monitoring mode. Back in the monitoring mode, we're going to go into the second program mode, which is by holding down the top center button, which will take the M now to a letter P that you see on the screen. This allows you to make a set of changes, for example, from PSI to bar, or from Fahrenheit to Celsius. You can also now adjust the baseline. The baseline is the number or the pressure rating that your tire should be properly pressurized at. Displayed on the screen, you'll see the baseline for the tires that we've installed. The baseline is set the moment you install the sensor for the very first time. The I10 automatically sets your baseline at the pressure your tire is at. That's why we properly inflate the tires in the very beginning. You can come to this screen and adjust your baselines up or down a few PSI. This will allow you to customize all 6 tires to the baselines that you want. Now that we have 6 sensors installed and they've been checked, it's time to install the locking nuts and back them up to the sensor using the locking nut wrench to tighten them into place. Simply thread the locking nut to the very back side of the sensor and using the wrench, give it a slight turn to tighten it into place. To perform a test to see how quickly your I10 and the sensors will respond, simply holding your display next to one of the tires, unthread one of the tires and remove the sensor from the tire. This will mimic a blowout, and you will see that the I10 display goes from the proper pressure down to 0 and has an audible alert alarm to let you know there is a problem. By threading the sensor back on, you will see that the pressure comes right back on the monitor, displaying the proper pressure again. Your I10 has the ability to not only monitor all of your tire pressures, but also all of your tire temperatures. To toggle between these views, simply depress for 1 second the center button on the top of the display. This will move you from the PSI window, seeing the pressure of all of your temperatures, to the Fahrenheit, or to seeing the temperature of all of your tires. Your I10 will automatically monitor both pressure and temperature in the background at all times. The last piece of equipment we're going to install on our coach will be the booster. Simply connect the positive and the negative lead to the positive and negative on the battery, mounting the actual booster underneath the coach with the words facing to the concrete. Secure the booster underneath the coach with the provided white zip ties. Mounting the booster to a fifth wheel should be mounted in the front, underneath, and connected directly to the battery. Mounting the booster onto a towable or a trailer, mount underneath the front frame rail and connect direct to the battery. In closing, the I10 by Tire Minder is meant to be an additional safety tool in your toolbox as you're traveling. The idea behind this is not for you to stare at it. You shouldn't be looking at it while you're driving all the time. Keep your eyes on the road so that you and your passengers and everyone around you are safe. Keeping this around you so that if there is a problem, it will alert you with a sound. You'll hear it so you can pull over and get safe, address the issue, whatever it is, and continue down the road. By utilizing the I10, it'll provide you the information you need every time you start up in the morning, during your drive, and when you shut down at the end of the day to keep an eye on both your tire pressure and temperature at all times. Be assured, by selecting the I10 for your vehicle, you'll have the best TPMS system available on the market to keep you and all your passengers safe.